Hey guys, welcome back. I had a friend of mine, I guess I can call him a friend now, but he's been listening to my videos and took me up on my offer with a story. He said he would tell the story, but he didn't want me to say his name, and he didn't want his family or his friends or anybody to know he's related to this story. So I'm going to call him Jaw. Jaw. That's just a nickname I've created for him for this story. Now, Jaw told me, by the way, this guy's an older gentleman. This happened when he was about 30 years old, and he does not want anyone to know about it. He's still in the working field. He's got neighbors and friends. He's told his family. His family really wishes he wouldn't talk about it, so he's honoring that. But he told me the story, and as long as I say it like this, that he'll allow me to tell the story. So he said he worked hard. He was a bartender. He worked hard that night. This is when he was young. He worked hard that night, so he was tired. He got up early that morning, take a shower, and in the shower, he just kind of rested his head up against the corner of the shower. And when he did that, he had his eyes closed, and when he did that, he saw like a movement in the back of his eyes, and then he realized he was in a space of some sort. And in that space, the movement he saw was these three entities in front of him. For lack of a better word, three gray aliens. And the one in the middle was taller, probably because the other two was sitting down. He surmises, he's not sure. And I want to get this right. And the one in the middle, when he realized he saw him, the guy could see him. He did something behind the panel, and the guy was back into the shower. Now he said somehow, without thinking, he didn't even know why he did, but without thinking, he applied pressure behind his eyes. He said he used to do that when he was a kid to make things go blurry. For some reason, he instinctively did that, and then he pushed himself back into that realm where he was back into that space. And that entity in the middle saw him and realized he realized he could see him and did something behind the panel, and then he was gone. He was saying before he saw him doing something behind the panel, and he was trying to stop him, but it was too late. He was already back into the shower. And as hard as he tried, he could not get back to that space. I know it's the reason I'm telling you this story is because part of the reason when he tells it, it seems like it's not enough, so he feels like when he tells that story that he needs to embellish it to get people to get them to believe him. But he's not going to embellish it because he doesn't have an understanding of what that was. He said as soon as it happened, he went to the mirror and looked in the mirror and said, "Do not forget this. This is real. It really happened. Do not forget this." And he told himself that over and over before he went out and told his family. Now, this is at a strange time when it was just a few days before the lights in Phoenix happened. He lived in Phoenix at the time. So that's the story, and that's kind of falls upon what other people are, when they have these stories, they feel like they got to embellish them a little bit more for the audience to get them to believe them, because it's so dry the way it is. Just, you see some entities, they do something, you're gone, and then what the hell happened? What's going on? That it was real. In fact, you was able to get yourself back there. And he said over time he's had other experiences, but nothing that deep. So the other experiences would even have less information or have less value to those listening. But to him, it changed his whole life. Well, he said not instantly, but as times roll on, as he had other experience, it changed his whole life, and that's all he became interested in, is finding out what was happening. And he hears other people's stories that seem much deeper and more stuff, more sustenance to it. So he just kind of drifted back in the back and not talk about it because other people's stories were more interesting. But when he told me that he felt like he needed to embellish it because he didn't think people would listen to that little bit of a story, that kind of nothing burger almost, made me think that a lot of these stories that people are telling, they may be putting a little touches on it. I don't know. I'm a truth seeker. I'm like you. I'm trying to find out the truth. And this guy's story, I believe him. I believe the story. I hear people talking out there. I don't know. But when you get to sit in front of someone and talk to them, you kind of get the idea whether they're telling the truth or not. Anyway, I wanted to get this story out. Please let me know if you like it. Hit the like button. Let the algorithms know you're listening, and let other people know that this is real and we're doing something about it. We're doing what we can. Thank you. Before I go, I forgot to say, he drew me a picture while he was talking to me of the entities he saw. He said he's not an artist, so the picture is kind of a little sloppy, but he wanted to draw something. He drew it while he was sitting there talking to me. He had some pencils and a couple of colored pencils, and this is what he drew. Now, he said the two on the end, he couldn't tell if they were looking at him or not. He's not that good of an artist, but this is the way it came out. It kind of looked like they were looking at him. But he said he couldn't tell if they were looking at him, but the one in the middle was. And this is the picture. So I'm just putting it out there, the way I'm hearing it. Look, we hear other people get to talk about their stories, right? The military pilots and stuff like that, because we believe them because they hold a place of respect and authority, right? So we just believe them. But there are many, many of us having these experiences that we're afraid to talk about because we've either talked about it to our family or friends and they've rolled their eyes or joked it off. I mean, what else can you do? If somebody comes with you that story, I mean, it kind of comes out of nowhere and you go, what? Especially if they've never talked like that before in their life. So up until that point, that guy said he never had nothing to do, didn't believe in that stuff. Now he believes. He's not a religious person, but now he questions. But anyway, I thought I would give you that. I hope you like this. Thank you very much.